Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to our BKFC Reddit. Ask Me Anything. We're joined by a good friend of mine, Mr. James Get Down Brown. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm great. People had you listed as an underdog, and you were the one that I said if you were going to make money off of a parlay or if you were going to bet the house on any fight being an upset, your fight was the one to do it on.
Yes, sir. I don't know why they have me as the underdog when I'm the overdog in the hype, but it is what it is. Dan Chapman is a he's a definitely a worthy opponent, so I can see myself being the underdog because I had a loss. He was undefeated. Um, but stylistically, not the underdog for sure.
So you have a loss, but it was at 55, and it was one of those fights you kind of took just because you wanted to stay active. At 45, you are undefeated. You are still ranked in the top five. What do you have to do to get a title shot?
I don't know what I got to do to get a title shot. Maybe fight two people at one time. I'm not sure, but the featherweights, it's hard for me to fight any of the featherweights. Every time I get a featherweight name, I accept, they deny, and so I'm left to fight at lightweight. Uh, even Davis wanted to fight me at lightweight, not featherweight. Now he did say he would fight me at featherweight, but when the contract was sent, it was at lightweight, and I wasn't gonna complain about it. Um, I don't know what I have to do.
So you and I, you said, hey, I want to come on the show. I want to like try to get some hype behind my name, get somebody out there to challenge me. And then this Dan Chapman fight like came out of nowhere. Nobody saw it coming. Like how quickly after we did the interview was it? What is it proposed to you?
Probably like 1 or 2 days. Um, my coach hit me up, was like, "Yo, check this guy out and look him up." And I was checking him out. I was like, "Man, that guy's pretty good." But you always know I'm down, coach. He was like, "I mean, I accepted already. It doesn't matter. Let's start getting ready." Yeah, I had like 10 weeks to prep for Chapman, so that wasn't too much longer after we spoke.
You gotta think. I mean, this has to do something for you getting a title fight. Dan Chapman was supposed to potentially get in the and fight against Tony Soto for the 55 belt. So you have to think if they were prepared to give this gentleman a shot at the title, and clearly I imagine a win over you gets him a shot at King Kai. You got the win. It's got to be you versus Kai next, right?
I feel like it's got to be. For one, I'm the longest ranked. I've been ranked the longest. Like all of these other guys kind of just jumped up in front of me after the last Italy bout when Gaffey took out Brandon Allen. They took
Right.
him from number one and threw Plazola there, and then Nathan Rivera, I believe, and Gaffey, and yeah, they just bumped all these new guys over me without asking, if I wanted to fight any of them for my spot. Uh, and yeah, I feel like I should be next. I've been taking all the fights. Nobody wants. They already know if there's somebody that needs to fight and nobody's gonna fight him, call James. He's gonna do it. You know. Uh, I mean, what I gotta do? I don't know what I gotta do to get my shot, but I think it's mainly because these guys are scared. If I'm being honest, they gotta be scared. They see what I'm doing to people out there, and even when I can't touch you, like Chapman, he was hard to touch. He was the best defensive fighter I've ever stood in front of. He was very very hard to find. And when I did, even the glancing blows, that you see what it does. This is why these guys are running. They talk tough online, and then behind closed doors, it's like, no, I'm good.
Dan Chapman has fantastic head movement. I feel like that's the only reason he lasted as long as he did.
Yeah, he has excellent head movement and his footwork. His footwork was very very sharp and smooth. It was like antagonizing me and like baiting me to come in. But the even like the micro movements, the things like average people don't really notice when two high level strikers are fighting, my feints and everything, he was like reacting just like so small to it. I was like, oh, I definitely can't reach for this guy. If I reach for him, he's gonna make me pay. So I stayed patient and tried to make it look easy. It wasn't easy, but Chapman is definitely there's levels to this for sure, and he's the highest level I've stepped in front of, like defensively.
How key was it to get the first round under your belt and have the control, because you had the points at that point? So you were having, like, when you have that round in the bag, like the next round, he's got to chase you. He's got to come out of his shell, and being able to use your length and know, like, this guy, if he doesn't come at me, you're going to win another one picking him apart on the outside.
It was super important for me to win those rounds on points alone, not, worried about what the crowd was saying. Just win those rounds on points. It was hard because, again, I couldn't overextend. If I would have reached for him, he would have made me pay big time. So I stayed patient. In the first round, I believe, with like a minute in, hitting with a body shot. I'm like, okay, I'm down immediately. So I got to get that back. And so I started to open up a little bit. And when I do, I threw a two and a three. The two glanced and the three missed. And he looked up and he smiled at me, but I wasn't out of range yet. So I threw a 1-2. 2-3-1-2 is one of my favorite combos. So I'm always ready to throw the 1-2 from any position. I threw the 2-3. I look up. He smirked. I threw the one. He slipped back and was off balance. I threw the two and it landed perfect and he went down. They didn't give me the knockdown immediately because Andy was at a bad angle, but I knew I had hurt him a little bit because it landed right on the chin, and I tracked him all the way down. Those last two punches I threw, like, just missed him. So when I saw that, I was like, man, I'm on point. I can do this. And so I knew I was up after that round one. Came out round two and kind of just started being patient again, and wait for him to come in and try to get some, because that's the best chance that I had, was just waiting on him to try to get in.
Tell me about Italy. You're a guy who's gotten to fight, all over the United States quite a bit. Like, you got to go to Italy. Like, tell me about it. Like, did you love it? Did you try to go a couple of days early? Like, did you try to extend your stay? Like, tell me about Italy.
Well, I saw the UK guys over there like a week earlier than I was able to go. But I was able to stay, like 6 days before the fight. I got over there Monday. Um, Immediately tried the pasta. I wasn't impressed,
Okay.
but I did try pizza after that. It was the pizza 5 stars. I mean, Italy 5 stars overall, but the pasta was a little bit mid to me. I'm not a pasta connoisseur, so I'm not, I don't know what it should be, but it wasn't, it didn't have all the preservatives and the good flavor in it like we got over here in
Okay.
the States. So maybe it's just me. Uh, the view, the scenery, the skyline, the mountains, everything was just so beautiful. The historical monuments, it's not like over here in the US. It was, I don't know. I felt like I was like in a movie almost looking at that place. And the Hilton where they had a stand. Oh my gosh, that's the nicest building like I've ever been in. It was so
Okay.
beautiful and it was cool. 5 stars for me for sure. Italy, awesome place. If y'all could, take a vacation there, definitely do it. It was awesome.
Are you one of those, like, we saw Kamosi? He said, "Look, I'd be fine if I fought the rest of my career over in Italy." He goes, "I love it over there. I get paid good over there, and like the culture and all that." He goes, "It's next level."
It is next level, man. The breakfast that the Hilton had when we woke up, fruits, vegetables, yogurts, pancakes, waffles, everything you could even imagine. And the thing is, everything is made from scratch. They had all the juices, bro. After I weighed in, I was like, bro, we gotta go to breakfast. They have like all the juices you can ask for over there.
Yeah.
Everything was fresh squeezed. It was. I'd love to like just live there and fight, but it's weird because all those guys are like, man, I just want to fight in the U.S. Everybody wanted to fight here in the U.S., so it was just like flipped back and forth. It was weird.
So listen, I love Dave Feldman, but Gabriel is just such an amazing guy. Like, that dude is phenomenal. I love his accent, everything he does for the fighters, and he's always working. He's always, like, trying to promote you guys and get you guys exposure. And like I said, the dude is next level. I love him. Like, what was your interactions with him like?
As soon as I got to the Hilton, I checked in. I was waiting on the elevators, and he walked in and immediately just walked up to me, shook my hand, and was like, "Hey, you're here in Italy. If you need anything, let me know. I got you." And so he just took care of me the entire time. Anything I ever needed, all I had to do was find him, or because he was around the entire time, or hit him up, and it was done. From freaking an adapter because I didn't grab one to freaking plug into the wall and charge my phone, to anything I needed, bro. He was there for it. So, and leading up to the fight, those guys tagged me in like everything, graphics and lead ups to the fight, the promos. helped me on my social media a lot also. So yeah, that guy Gabriel is awesome, bro. I really rocks with him. I wouldn't mind fighting for him again.
Yeah, those dudes over in Italy, they do a phenomenal job promoting you guys in the social media. And for a guy who doesn't do a lot, like the fact that all you got to do is click accept and you're suddenly exposed all that, it makes
Yep.
it a lot easier.
Yeah, it makes
Who did,
things so much easier. I was able to just focus, you know.
who did you take with you?
I took Coach Dre, and I was supposed to take Coach Derek Brunson, but his son had a birthday, so he wasn't able to make it. So I had Larry Green, one of my longtime teammates and training partners. He lives in Atlanta and he works for the airline, so he was able to just shoot right over and help us out and corner me.
Cool.
So that was very, very awesome, and I really appreciated him for being able to make it last minute like that. So Coach Ray Hurd and Larry Green were in my corner.
Did you see it? I mean, like you and I were talking before. You guys we were in the same corner in Omaha, and we had a very similar experience to Bryce was fighting Derek Finley, who was a shorter fighter. You're significantly taller than Dan Chapman. It seems like you guys with that long reach, it's almost impossible to get inside to touch you guys.
Man, they gotta get me some fights with some taller people. It's not fair. You see, Howard Davis honestly was the only person able to really match that because we were the same height, same reach. We were virtually identical. Anybody else it's a hard time touching me. Bovar did a really, really good job at getting on the inside. But even after I took that knee and recalculated, he wasn't able to get inside any longer.
Yeah.
Uh, I'm sorry, short people.
Do you feel like it's time BKFC makes a top five fight each other? Like I said, I'm seeing so many matchups, and it's a top five guy against somebody not in the rankings, a top five guy against somebody not in the rankings. Like I don't believe, I don't think Chapman was in the rankings. So, but I mean, Chapman was an undefeated champion coming from another thing. It was a huge fight for you, but you have so many guys who
Yes,
are
sir.
fighting that are getting fights against nobody in the top five. I feel like it's time BKFC starts doing top five needs to fight each other.
I agree. I don't really blame the BKFC for that. I blame the Florida fighters. Um, they're like not very good aside from, Henry, HD, the guys that are good.
Sure.
Um, and they're not able to just fight anybody. They need people to beat up on to make their money. And if you're making money, the BKFC is all about it. So uh, I don't blame them. I blame these coward featherweights that don't want to challenge themselves and be true champions and fight the top five. Why would I risk my top five fight if the champion's not going to fight anybody from the top five? He's just going to try to find someone from another organization or some old guy from Spain to fight.
Yeah.
There's no reason for me to risk my rank.
Kai's been very adamant that you do not deserve a championship fight. Like, I mean, you clearly disagree, right? Like I said, I think you do deserve a championship fight. You've been there forever. Like, I don't know. Like, I mean, granted, Plaza Ola has looked good, but you've been doing it longer.
Yes, sir. Plazola looks good. But let's look at who he's fought. You look at my record, and I fought nothing but tougher opponents as I went along.
Sure.
I'm not out here cherry picking, and for Kai to feel like I don't deserve a title shot, it's only because he's scared. It's not because I don't actually deserve a title shot. He doesn't feel he deserves to lose his title, and that's what the thing is. He doesn't want to let it go. And I just learned like 3 days ago that the kid was 25, and so it just explains so much. And I'm sorry for picking on you kids. I apologize, but you got to give the belt up, man.
When you finish and you go to the back and Dave Feldman comes in and tells you did a great job, phenomenal fight, does he say like, "Hey, look, we would like to see you match up against"? Was there any discussion? Not necessarily a promise, but I mean, is the wheels in motion? Like, what? Tell me what's going on with that.
So I was not able to speak with David Feldman after the fight this time because they had canceled the post fight press conference.
Right.
So I'm not sure what he was thinking. But after the fight, I did stand in front of him at the edge of the ring and do the belt emote, and he shook his head at me, yes. And then Connor came over after and was like, "Yo, call out the champion. You deserve it." So if Connor and Feldman both give me that head nod, I feel like we should start putting some stuff in motion. Especially if Kai's complaining that he wants to fight by the end of the year. I'm unscathed. My hands are good. I got touched like twice in the head, twice in the body. I'm ready to go immediately. I'm still in shape. I trained yesterday. I set up a private session with Coach Mike for Thursday. I'm not satisfied. I'm ready to go immediately right now.
Connor's a madman. Like, can you tell me any interactions? Like, you see him around the hotel a little bit and all that. Like, do it. I mean, we saw you got to hang out with him in the ring, but did you get to experience any one-on-one with him maybe outside the ring?
Nah, I feel I would have got that at the post fight press conference. I
Right.
have already met Connor one time before when I fought Alvarado.
Okay.
Um,
Oh, that's
and
right.
we've watched Connor. I've watched Connor since the Brimage fight, man. It's like I've watched so much of that guy. I felt like I already knew him, so it was like honestly like one of the homies. Like
Sure.
I felt like I was out of the country, but I was at home with Connor at on the side of the ring and Tony Loco Soto out in the crowd and my coach. I felt like I was at home. I did not even feel like I was away. So it was comfortable. I had nothing but good interactions with Connor. At the weigh-ins, he was excited for me and my fight. He didn't say my name when we were at the pre-fight press conference. So, but he did mention my opponent, which that was good enough for me. I'm fighting someone who's worthy enough to be spoken about.
Sure.
So it was all fun and stuff. I would like a little bit more interaction, but the interactions I had were awesome. Also, Connor was an awesome person towards me. He wasn't a douchebag or an asshole or
Sure.
anything.
No, I feel like you can tell that he loves bare knuckle. That's the one thing that, like, if people, you either love him or you hate him, but the one thing you can't say is he doesn't like live and breathe for bare knuckle and go out of his way to promote you guys and try to get you guys on the biggest platform possible.
Yes, sir, for sure. And he understands what it is to be an up and coming fighter trying to feed your family and just for him to understand that in the way he treats us, man, it's like no other. Like I love to have him as a boss. It's like perfect. He's like the MMA Mayweather. Who wouldn't want to follow in that guy's footsteps? And he did a lot of things for the sport of MMA, and now he's just transferring that right over to bare knuckle. So it's awesome what he's doing for us, man.
When do we get to see you and Brunson on the same card? That's what I think a lot of people want to see. We want to see you. We want to see Brunson. When's it going to happen?
Yeah, hopefully, whenever North Carolina gets their stuff together and legalize it here in North Carolina, man. Like I said, if we could get me, Derek, Tony Loco Soto, Keith Richardson, Taylor Starling, everybody, Doug Coltrane on the same card for the Carolinas, that would be like such a massive, massive card. Um, I don't even know if we have a stadium to like support anything that big.
Sure.
Me and Derek being on a card would be like a dream come true though to fight on a card with the guy who raised me as a martial artist and bro, that would be like legendary. I could retire after that and feel good about what I've done after that. A guy who has like 20 plus Zuffa fights and I'm on the card with this guy and he taught me all of this stuff. Man, that'd be awesome for me.
Chris Lytle and Feldman, they give you that speech every time and they say, don't let it go to the judges. We saw some crazy judges' decisions. I'm so glad that you were able to end your fight because I could have seen something like, oh, Dan Chapman, like, oh, he turned it on in the 5th round and like that won him like
Yeah, yeah.
how important was it for you to finish it and not let it go to the judges?
It was super important for me to finish that fight. Again, Chapman was so hard to find. He was so slick. I even went back to my corner and my coach was like, "Is he strong?" I was like, "Yeah, but that's not the problem. He's so slick. I can't find him." He was like, "Don't worry about that. Don't worry about the booze. Just keep doing what you're doing. We're gonna find him." But when I'm hunting for Chapman, I hear the boos. I'm ignoring them, but the one thing I can't ignore is Conor McGregor saying, "Go get him, you guys, go, go." And
Yep.
and I'm like, I want to go because the big boss wants to see a fight. His little man's over there like screaming every time me and Chapman go. He's like, "Oh!" And I want to impress the boss and his family, but I had to stay disciplined. Um, when Chapman wasn't able to see, you see me getting closer and closer to him. I'm feigning and his reactions aren't there. But at the end of the third round, I throw an uppercut to the body, and immediately he hits me. He times me, boom, right to behind the ear, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, he can't see, but his reaction is still there." So I still even had to dial it back a little bit with my aggression, because Chapman he's a sniper, man. That's the only way I can explain it. He's just baiting me in the entire time, and whenever I made that wrong move, the move that I wanted to make, not the move that I was supposed to make, bang, he made me pay. Um, but going into that fifth round, after I like saw blood in both of his eyes, in the fourth round, in the fifth round, I was going to try to kill him. I was going to try to get him out of there no matter what. My coach was prepping me for that war. He was saying, Chapman's going to be desperate, but I need you to go out there and finish this fight because we are in Rome. And so I was a heat-seeking missile for that fifth round. I was coming to finish it. It just so happened that right before the 10-second clapper went off, they waved it off. His corner had seen enough.
I told people like it's James Get Down Brown. It could be James Wolverine. It could be James Edward Scissorhands. James Freddy Krueger. You have knuckles unlike anybody's I've ever seen. If you could just hold them like so we could see them. Like I said, you literally touch people and they start leaking. Like you have the most insane knuckles, and you can't really tell on this screen, but in person they are just different.
They're super sharp. I'm gonna blame the lighting here in my house for why they don't look super super sharp. And it's probably just a little bit of swelling from the
Sure.
fight. But my hands are fine. I'm ready to punch again. Like I said, I trained yesterday, but it's just because I'm skin and bones and skin. There's nothing in between there that's gonna save you. So if I hit you on your forehead or anywhere where there's bone, it's gonna slice, man. Bone on bone is not fun. Uh, no matter if it's a fast punch, soft punch, hard punch, grazing, it all cuts open. And I'm not trying to do it. It just happens.
It was crazy because you watch in the first round, you touch him right at the very end and split him open the middle of the forehead, up in the hairline. And then, yep. And then literally, it's like you targeted one eye and then you targeted the other eye. And like, I felt like, I mean, he did a video afterwards and you felt bad for this guy because he's cut all over. You Freddy Krueger people, and it's terrifying.
Yeah, first round, he had like a little micro slice here, a little micro slice here, one on the side of the head, and one right here on the hairline. And those weren't even like flush punches. Uh,
Right.
and they were small cuts and they got bigger throughout the fight. But Chapman, the people say he runs,
Sure.
and it wasn't like that for me in the fight. He the first two rounds he kind of gauged me. In the third round, you can see him trying to get closer. I didn't allow that to happen, but there was never a point until he wasn't able to see. I saw the blood in his eyes. There was not a point where he looked like he didn't want to be there and fighting me. He was just antagonizing me the entire time, talking to me, whispering to me. Um, but I did feel bad. The last 30 seconds of round four, where he kept wiping his eyes, I could see all the blood in his eyes. I could see that he couldn't see me and he was just looking at my silhouette. Every time I faint, there was no reaction. And I'm literally thinking, like, as I'm moving towards him, I can finish you right now. Uh, and and something inside was like kind of feeling bad, and I didn't do it. Um, when you go back and watch the fight, you'll hear me grunt. I'll growl at him like, because I want to go, and I chose not to go. Um, Connor was making me want to go. My coach was making me not want to go. The crowd was making me want to go, and myself, I didn't want to go because I didn't want to give him just no little inch of anything. And like I said, at the end of round three, when I touched him in the body, and I thought I was, in the clear, he turned that two over on me so fast. It's like I can't give him any chances. I'm just gonna be reserved. I'll wait for the next round. Um, although there was no next round, but yeah, I touch people, it cuts them open. You better hope it's not in a bad spot, or you better just go ahead and give me your chin if you don't want to get cut open so I can put you to sleep. I need my knockout. I need a first knockout in BKFC already.
You get to fight Kai. Will you feel bad, or are you gonna have that killer instinct?
I would not feel bad for a kid. He's 25. He's at an age where he's just now turning into a man. 25, you get full control over your coordination of your body and stuff. You're fully developed. I will not feel bad for him because of the way he holds himself. Also, I probably will feel bad for him because he doesn't have good defense. He's gonna try to just move forward and he's not gonna last 2 rounds. I've been doing martial arts for 22 years. That's He's only 3 years old when I started competing in martial arts. Um, it is going to make me feel bad the way that I do them, but I have to do this for my family. So I won't feel bad while I'm doing it, but I'll feel bad afterwards, and then I won't because he signed up to do this.
All right. I'd like to give you a chance to A, call out Kai, and B, go ahead and give a shout out to their sponsors, anybody you'd like to thank, any message you got for the fans.
All right, Kai Stewart, listen, I understand you're just a kid and you don't really want to give your belt up, but you got to realize that you're young. You have a lot of time to grow, and I have faith that you will be champion again one day whenever I retire. Um, but you got to stop running, Bo. To my sponsors, number one, Brunson's MMA and Fitness. My home is where I was grown and raised. I have teammates there who are in a UFC contender series. Everything. You guys are the reason why I fight the way I fight. Derek Brunson, Coach Dre, Coach Mike, our Brunson's MMA, Mike Tyson. I appreciate you. He was with me for this camp and made sure I was going to be ready to move my head and stuff. Lightning Labor Construction LLC, my main platinum sponsor. I appreciate you guys. They're the foundation behind my grind. Allow me to train and get my meal prep and stuff like that without worrying about having to pay my rent and stuff.
Sure.
Red Dog Studios. I wasn't able to walk out to your walkout song this time, but I got you next time. It was just a little weird being so far away from home, and I didn't have any service. I'll be ready next time. Above all Arbor, Wilmington, North Carolina, they're a tree cutting service and stuff. If you guys need any stumps removed, anything chopped down, like I'll be chopping people down with them kicks. I know I don't do that right now, but y'all know. Don't forget I can kick people. Hit up Above All Arbor. They help out Wilmington and the surrounding areas. Um, and yeah, shout out BKFC for allowing me that opportunity. David Feldman, Conor McGregor, you guys are awesome bosses. Andy Hall, Nate Shook, I appreciate those matchmakers finally getting me a 45 fight. Gabrielle, thank you for having me there in Italy. You and your team, it was super awesome, and I really love my experience for Italy. And I hope I can come back next year when you guys have your next one.
Awesome. All right, sir. Look, it's got to happen sooner or later. If they're not gonna give you a title shot, it better be at least the number one contender shot. You know what I mean? Like it either needs to be title guaranteed shot, or if you win, you fight for the belt.
Honestly, I'm not even satisfied with the number one contender. I need to
I know.
fight number one, number two, and number four in the same night. If I come out of number one unscathed, I need the next fight. If I come out of that one unscathed, I need the next fight. I can fight 30 minutes easy. We train 25-minute, 5-minute MMA rounds all the time at the gym. You guys don't forget I'm a mixed martial artist. I need all those fights on the same night or Saturday after Saturday, 3 weeks in a row, so I can get. If that's what I got to do to earn my title shot, I'll do it. Plazola, number one contender, not gonna touch me. He's got a wicked right hand, never gonna see me, no defense. Number two, who's that? Brian Duran, same thing. He's like a Dambe fighter, right hand, nothing else. Number four, Nathan Rivera, you fought nobody. Um, don't speak my name unless you want these problems because I'm ready to fight immediately before the end of the year. Uh, Kai Stewart, stop running, my boy. That belt is mine. I've run the featherweight division. Where y'all at?
I'm just gonna say this: like I consider Gaio a friend, but his last two fights have been at 55. So it's one of those things. Like I feel like if it's been over a year and you haven't fought at 45, it's time to like probably pull them out. And you know what? He's fought at 55. So I mean, pick a weight class, stick there. Like I said, you have Nico who just fought at 45 against Brandon Allen, but now has dropped down to 35. I would love to see people pick a weight class and stay there.
I agree. I wish I didn't have to fight those big guys at 155, man. I love fighting at 145. I missed. I was underestimating my speed because I hadn't fought at featherweight in so long. I was talking about Chapman being so fast, and then I get in there and I'm like, man, I'm just as fast as he is.
Same.
I Lightweight is not my weight. I'm a featherweight fighter, and if I didn't have to fight at lightweight, I wouldn't. Please, featherweights, please fight me. I know I'm Goliath out here, but please fight me. Featherweight is where I belong. I don't like fighting big guys like HD at lightweight and get my block knocked off. That's not where I belong. You featherweights are weak. I understand, but that's where I love featherweight.
All right, man. I appreciate your time. Like, we've got that friendship bond going right now. So I was glad that you were like, "Hey, I want to do your show as soon as I get back." I appreciate it, dude. I much love for you, dude. And like I said, I love watching your success.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Hey, I'm not gonna forget where I come from. Anytime, no matter how big I get, I'm over here getting me some interviews in because hey, this is where I started. We take it all the way. I don't care. So I appreciate you for reaching out to me and allowing me to be on your platform and helping me out when I needed it. And hopefully one day I can reciprocate the same
Appreciate it,
for
man.
you.
Well, thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day. Hopefully it stops raining.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I need to get this yard done, man. It's looking crazy out here.
All right, dude. Have a great night. Thanks, man.
You too. Peace. Thank you.